In the beginning there was death and pain. The enormous emotions are torn apart the fabric of space and fragmented the reality itself. The moment when the word of pestilence has been born. The forest became the aftermath of the punishment, the final event which purposed to slowly devour the remaining world. The survivors got a last chance for salvation and escaped the doom and hellish afterlife. The gift was left granted by Olga before leaving the world on its own. The pre-mortality realm was not interfered directly by the forces of order and chaos. It was prevented by divinity and the higher power of stars, planets, and constellations. After the plague, as the stars hid from the sky due to the miasma cloud cover and the divine power has left the world, some force had to fill the vacuum. These were the arc concept of chaos and order. These became an inspiring force for all the three wheels of the pestilence world. Each era of the kingdom is dedicated to one major force from the two. Whenever the order was the majority, the life in the kingdom became more stable, predictable and peaceful. These are the golden ages, with prosper on pestilence level and safety for the citizens. The power of chaos, negative forces, and the root cults were working behind the scenes and undermining the society from within, then open confrontational. In time, the order became overregulated, wanted to control way too much of the people's life, and triggered a response from the society in form of rebellion or corruption. All those were the signs of awakening chaos times, which the ruling class tried to prevent with more draconian measures and edicts. Eventually, the whole system is blows up, mostly from a single weightless act, and turned into a shorter but more adventurous times of wars, bloodshed, and open rebellion. These were periods are dedicated to chaos, which are shorter than the order times. However, the events and happenings are so many times more frequent, which describes this quote from Lenin very well. There are decades where nothing happens, and there are weeks where decades happen. In chaos years, there are no fixed points and comparisons, but full of opportunity and change. These times where the reigning power could change very quickly and easily. Warlords, sects, cults, rouge noble houses, merchant dynasties, or alchemist guilds can grab power to establish a lifetime empires. The kingdom fragmented into smaller territories with different ruling and customs. Some of them can stay even after a new order arrives and integrate into the coming era. So, what the mortals have anything to do with it? The mortals are the balancing force in this system. Like they are the weight on a balanced scale which decide which side got more power to eventually turn over. The nature of each side, order or chaos, has an implementation of its own failure over time, like death, which part of its behavior. Order became too over-organizing and reduced more and more the options to act freely. This raised the discontent within the people, the draconian rules and oppression in the name of the greater good, and lead to the downfall of the standing order brutally. As continuation, the era of chaos remained so turbulent and violent that the people of the cleansing could not stand it anymore and follows any chance to end the decade of death and destruction. It would be the renewal of the kingdom as the rise of the phoenix from the ashes, with a painful rebuilding of the central forces, village by village, treaty upon treaty. The mortals' action is what changed the scale, like putting sand into the plates accordingly. If their actions support the power of order, keeping laws, organize their lives by the rules, and living peacefully, then more symbolic sand fall into the plate of order. If they are working against this order, breaking laws, steal, disrespect the status quo, then the plate of chaos will grow. Eventually this turns the side into the other direction, flip the symbolic wheel of the fate which is shown on the outer ring of the picture. There is a crucial moment when this system could go out of control, and end the world altogether. In an era of order, the people would not stand against the regime, but even their worship in it, that could lead the side of the scale overbalanced and broke it altogether. In this way, the world would eventually experience not just social stagnation, but the world itself mirror these actions and stops as well. The weather will become colder and colder, and even the day seems never-ending, and finally, the time itself stops as well. As a flowing river, it freezes, but I will get into that idea in the coming episodes. A world frozen to death and will remain in the forever moment of stop, no time. On the contrary, when the chaos is engulfing the world and there is no will to stop it, the burning chariot of wars destroys the entire mortal realm. The cleansing became a burning field covered with bones and ashes. The villages and cities has fallen and the remaining forces fight till their last breath. There won't be anything which was to win. The symbols, sides, fates, ideologies, or nobles are vanished, and only the hatred, pain and chaos remains the only meaning. The world burned into ashes, but the flame still ravages the heart and mind, until everything will become one with the fire itself, and the river of time vaporizes into oblivion as speeds up to infinity in that gaseous state. Until next time, choose your actions carefully.